basic theory here is that what you can do, what you first want to do is make sure that all the resources that you want to use, all the schools or um, curriculum that you want to use are here, right? And you can either add them here through this catalog, or if you come here and you go to Term Planner, you can add them here, right? So I click that and I can do the same thing. And that way, when you add those, they'll now be in your list here. And the Term Planner is a little quirky because the thinking is that you got multiple kids, so you could just organize everything by kid, but you're going to want to have a term plan for a specific amount of time because you might want to plan for fall 2016 differently than you would plan for spring 2016 or 2017. So here is the vision. You don't have to use this, but the notion would be you create a term plan. And the first thing you would do is, let's say I'm going to say fall of 2016, and what type of term plan it is. And this might be too much structure, right? Like you might say, well, I don't want to classify that. This is going to be my question to you. How do I give people options that make it easier to search and filter stuff while not imposing upon you some structure? And then you select your student, right? So you're making a term plan for an individual student right now. So I'll do it for Savannah. And then the question is, do you want to bind this by start dates? And I'll tell you why that might be valuable here in a second. If you bind it by start dates, then what you can do is you can say that every thing that happens during this time will now be listed under the term. Why would that be valuable? Let's say at the end of the term you want to do a progress report or evidence of progress. You can go in and you can say, show me everything that happened on fall 2016, which means it's going to go in and say every assignment you made, every time your student visited the website, every field trip that you took, all that stuff. As long as it falls between these two dates, it will be listed on that report, which you'll be able to print. Okay, but so here's so you say, give me a name, what student, and what is the time frame. Then here's what I envision you doing to complete your process of creating your subject or your term plan. You identify what subjects you're teaching. Again, is this too much structure? Do people want to be able to name their own subjects? I certainly think that people should be able to add their own subjects, but this would be the notion of where you're saying things like, I'm teaching vocabulary, I'm teaching entrepreneurship, I'm teaching government, etc. Why are you doing this? Just to make it easier in the future if you want to search or filter your results by your subjects. Now you know what subjects you're teaching for this student in this term. Okay? Then you move to your next step, which is what are the courses, or I'm sorry, what are the resources or schools that you're using, right? So let's say you're using TED Talks and MathUC, and you're using the Great Courses, and you're using your church co-op. Well, this is where you needed to have added it, right? So you need to go in and add your resources that you're using, or find the resources that you're using and add them here. But now you can go into we'll skip objectives, so I think this will be cool. You go into courses, and this is where you can say, I'm taking HTML 101. Let's see if any of these are here. Prereq. Right, so this can say anything that you have registered for throughout the site, not just on O'Leary Academy's site, but if there is a course listed, like I'm taking this great courses on electronics, and if it's listed there, you might as well add it, and that way it will show up as one of the courses that you're taking. All right, this is starting to get a little, I can understand this is getting a little overwhelming. So the question is, do we want to do this at all, right? Or do you just want to come in here and manage it based on the kids? So now I come in here and I say, okay, I want to see the term plan for Savannah, and I can filter between these things.